Chris, we just want to hear what you have to think about the elephant in the room, which is we're having this big factional debate because, well, it didn't start with but Tucker Carlson interviewed Nick Fuentes. Some people said that's fine. Some people said we don't like it, but whatever, it's his show. And some people are saying this is beyond the pale and we should condemn it. We're having faction fights at Heritage. So we just wanted you to offer your perspective on that.
Yeah. How do we approach it, Chris?
Well, it's a very complex question, and I have a few parts to the answer. First off, I think like many of us, Tucker gave so many people on the right a great start, a great boost, great support. I count myself as someone who really is grateful for what Tucker has done. And so I think you give someone like that more latitude. If you're talking about the Fuentes interview, my own personal preference would have been for Tucker to really interrogate Fuentes a little bit more, challenge his opinions, really make it a kind of journalistic and adversarial enterprise. However, I think that therefore the call to banish Tucker, to banish Kevin Roberts from Heritage, to banish anyone in that orbit is foolish. I think it's premature. I think it is counterproductive. And in my own attempt, like I've texted with Tucker subsequently. I've tried to give him my sense of how to think about the Fuentes or Groyper phenomenon, how to approach it in a way that I think would be more productive. We exchanged pretty cordial messages, and I think that is probably the best strategy moving forward, to recognize that Tucker does have an important place in the conservative movement, and even in places of criticism. I think that we can try to debate those ideas. We can try to push people in a more productive direction. I think this is what Charlie did with not just with Tucker, but with many other people. And I am. Yeah. Well, I think that, look, there's always addition through subtraction with people who are net negatives, very counterproductive. I think kind of racialist, conspiracist factions certainly fall under that. But this instinct to denounce, to disavow, to draw red lines, to purge leadership, to do that kind of action, whether at Heritage or now at ISI or in other institutions, I think that is not the right approach. And I think we get into an almost inverse of the BLM moment, where you have DEI style struggle sessions at conservative institutions. I think that is a very bad idea.
Post the black square. Post the black square, Chris. It's like it feels like our version of post the black square, which, by the way, Charlie raged against.
You don't like this aggressive moral coercion that just uses, how dare you have this conversation? How dare you have that thought? He was very against that.
Well, and Chris, that was really well said, and I'm glad to hear that from you, because you're a smart guy and you've thought deeply about these issues. And I would just say, listen, let's put the Groyper phenomenon aside. Let's put all of that aside. I will tell you with 1,000% certainty, because I had dozens of conversations about this. The larger critiques, the chew the meat, spit out the bones kind of critiques about what this country has done when it comes to betraying young men, young white men, what it's done to break the social compact and to label a lot of these groups as toxic, as beyond the pale, is not worth fighting for, has done such extraordinary damage to our country that some of this backlash, it needs to be harnessed and focused. And that's what Charlie devoted his life to. You heard that with Erica Kirk in her memorial speech, that this was the guy that killed Charlie was the one that was the same kind of guy that he was out on these college campuses trying to save. And that work must continue. We must remember that some of these, yes, it comes out in gross and vile ways, but at the core, there is a truth that we must acknowledge and be very, very serious about addressing. Final word to you, about 50 seconds, Chris.
Yeah, think about it. I mean, if you're a young man growing up today, you came of age during the COVID lockdowns, you came of age during the BLM era, where you were told that you were inherently and intrinsically evil because of your sex, because of your race. And so there is a justifiable resentment that has been bubbling up for many years. But I think that the best way to address that is through eliminating DEI, delegitimizing BLM ideologies, and then kind of tapping into those essential pillars of building our civilization, economic opportunity, great institutions, strong families, and offering young men a way that is not nihilistic, but a way that's actually going to make their lives better in the real world. If conservatives can't do that, we need to keep thinking.
Yeah, I agree. We got to offer them a better vision. Christopher Rufo, host of the new show, Rufo and Lomez, two really great guys, thought leaders in the movement. Thank you, Chris. We'll have you on again soon.
Thanks, gentlemen.